Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today we're here at Chambers Bay in University Place, Washington. Rich Lorder alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, set to bring you all of the action. Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
We've got a big golf course in front of us today. Robert Trent Jones II designed this golf course really to fit in with these marvelous surroundings. But consequently, we have like what I would call almost an inland links. It's going to play like that. Ideally, you'd like to play this golf course through the air, but it's very exposed to the elements.
Great swing, good rhythm and tempo. Well, that's just how you envision it when you walk to the first tee. High and deep, right in the middle of the fairway. Good way to start. Now the approach here at hole number 1. And Frank, what are we looking at?
Well, semi-blind, but it's fine. You know, just a little peek and you can see what's in front of you. Really no bunkers down the left side. If you do miss down there, a little chip back up the hill, but it's a big enough green.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Now to the second hole here at Chambers Bay. And Frank, it is not overly long. Where's the trouble here?
Well, 281 yards really to the big long bunker that goes all the way to the green. So as long as you can avoid that, you don't have to hit driver down here, just something that's going to be a little short of that. You're still only going to have 100 yards really, or just over 100 yards in for your second shot. A really good chance too to get off to a good start. Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Nicholas over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Frank going for another birdie here.
Chance to get on a real roll.
Has it for another birdie. 2 holes, 2 birdies. At the third tee now, Frank, and what are we staring at here?
This green is anything other than symmetrical, so be very, very cautious on where the flag is. Anything in the middle of the green you can putt to the corners. Well, if you can call them corners, more like ragtails, but beautiful par 3. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
You cannot hide the flagstick from that man inside of 5 feet. Frank, this would jumpstart the round. A 3rd straight birdie.
Some good playing.
Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
To -2 early in the round. Frank, here on the 4th tee, you get a good look, don't you, at what Chambers Bay really is all about.
It's framed beautifully, Rich, by the bunkers there, left, short, off the tee, plus the ones down the right side. You can see everything in front of you, but the hole does bend to the right. This is another one where you've got a generous fairway, but don't be fooled by that. It's fairway first.
Tough par 4 measuring 495 yards. Nice long tee shot there and a good lie, Frank. Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. This won't hurt him. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance really for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read, and missed out on that second part. Has it, and he's 2 under par. Frank, it's kind of fun to swing away on an elevated tee like this, the 5th here at Chambers Bay.
It looks straight away. It certainly does. And under 500 yards, so it gives you a chance, plus that elevation. You should be able to knock one down there. The whole pinch is in, though, with those bunkers left and right. And there's just one bunker in the front of this green. And that, as you can guess, should be avoided.
Be careful. They call this hole free fall. Just blasted that tee ball, Frank. Frank, what do we have with the approach shot here at the 5th?
Just got to be cognizant of that bunker. That's you can see it there. That's just central front of this green. You either got to go around it, or if you're good enough, then you go straight over it. But you've got to have a ton of spin on the second shot.
Just a beautiful approach shot. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Well done. Another birdie, and now 3 under par. Frank, now at the 6th, this appears to be a testing par 4 long one.
It is, but once again, a generous fairway. Just use those mounds down the left as an indicator on your line. Hole bends a little bit to the right. Good tee shot, though, and everything is in front of you.
It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on. This is right at it.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Well done. Back-to-back birdies. On the 7th tee now, it is over 500 yards from the back tee.
Yeah, this is called humpback, and you can see why. There's all those mounds and undulations between you and the hole, plus all that amazing bunkering down the right side. All to be avoided, really. If you can do that, then you get a decent look at this green. But yeah, you've mentioned it, 500 plus yards. It's going to play longer than that uphill.
Can't ask for much more here at the 7th. He has hit a good one. Frank, no reason here to think we're going to see anything other than another good shot.
Yeah, in a great flow, and golf like this looks easy.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Frank, see if he can get the hat trick here.
Oh, things are looking so good. Strokes good, swings good. Let's see if it goes in.
Starting to feel it. 2 in a row. 5 under for the tournament. Now to the 8th and a long par 5, Frank.
Fortunately, there's no bunkers, just the dunes either side. The hole looks a little narrow off the tee, but get down there, you're going to realize that's a fairly generous fairway. There's a little bit of mounding in this green, too, that actually slopes it back towards the player. So use that to your advantage. Oh, I like that.
Good contact, good result. Wow, Frank, look at that one run out. Just blistered that tee shot.
Well, that has to be 325 if it's an inch.
Second shot coming up here at the par 5. Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Frank, the 9th hole, called Olympus. And that is very grand sounding, like something that...
You're talking great God here, aren't you? Come on, this golf course is for the mere mortals, Rich. Rory's like a car that just has an extra gear. You know, if you've got five-speed gearbox, Rory's got 6. If you've got a 6-speed gearbox, he's got 7.
He's the souped-up Ferrari or Lamborghini. He can go. He's Formula One. That will be a great look at birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here. Makes birdie, continuing to amaze on the greens, Frank.
Putted well all day, Rich. Had a couple of good holes early on and just, I think, found the groove. Has taken it to another level.
Well, this one has a chance to be really good. Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Now the game's #1 player, Rory McIlroy, ready with his approach. Appears to be what they call a commercial play, very solid. Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. And getting ready for the putt. Frank, I thought that was in. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knocking in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the course.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Getting set to tee off at the 11th hole, long par 4, 537 yards. Frank, how do you play this hole, with a bazooka?
Yeah, try and take that June out of play, that's for sure, in the middle of the fairway. Bunkers down the left are more for scenic rather than, they're not really problematic for the player off the tee. Just, as I said, hit it over that June, and then really there's a ridge in the middle of the screen, so you've got to be on the right level.
What a drive. Just tattooed that. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Good chance at one. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
But now a chance for a birdie. Continuing to play well. -7 now after that putt. The 12th here at Chambers Bay is known as the Narrows. What's the play here, Frank?
Two, really. You could just sort of iron it down there, have a little wedge or a pitch in there with no sweat whatsoever. Or, if you want to have a little bit of fun, if you can drive it over that bunker that's just short left of this green, you might just putt for an eagle.
Drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. So early on the backside here at the 12th hole, missed opportunity. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
And he makes it for par. On to the 13th hole here at Chambers Bay. It's a par 4, and they call this one Eagle Eye.
Yeah, dogleg to the right, beefy par 4. You hit it down to one of the widest fairways on the golf course. And then up in front, if you look at the middle of the green, you're going to see one bunker. Needless to say, that's got to be avoided. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Frank, what are the defining characteristics of a links golf course?
I think you're looking for sandy soil first and foremost, because a lot of it is by the coastline. Most links courses are by the coastline. And it's normally wasteland. It wasn't used for anything else. And that's why you have these wonderful dunes in front of you and bunkers that are just cut out of the ground. You dig a hole and you've got yourself a natural bunker. That's how St Andrews was built. Many of the great golf courses on the coastline in Great Britain, and Chambers Bay is the American equivalent.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. This is one of the best rounds I've seen in a long time. That is an 8th birdie on the day. Frank, this is the 5th par 4 in a row, and they're not easy. This one here at 14, really a daunting tee shot.
It is. That's why it's called Cape Fair. A true Cape hole in golf, Rich, is when you've got to decide how much you want to bite off when you hit across a slight dogleg. And this one, really, you're going to be rewarded the further left you can go. There is one little bunker in the middle of the fairway that you have to avoid. That's going to be 320 or so yards off the tee. This hole, 546 yards, you're going to see a variety of second shots, or the length of second shots here, determined purely by the bravery of the tee shot.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Good looking shot right here. Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Settles in over the putt. This one has a chance, and he has it. Beautiful putt. At last, Frank, a break from those long par fours. We just played 5 par fours in a row. Now the par 3 15th.
And also, as you can see in the distance, you can actually see a tree, one of the few that are on the golf course. Hence the name of 15, it's called Lone Fir. Not overly long, just a little short hole. But in a US Open, obviously they can play it at around 250 yards. It's just a fun par 3. But check where that flag is, because sometimes 3 is a good score here. But an easy flag position, and then go straight at it.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. Frank, this would jumpstart the round. A 3rd straight birdie.
Some good playing.
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par. Really. This is that awkward length.
He got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
This to avoid a huge number. This is for bogey. 8 under par for the round. Now to the 16th hole here at Chambers Bay, and Frank, it is a pretty short hole. What are the chances to come out of here with a birdie?
Well, you've just come off the short 15th. You can get on a little bit of a run here, providing you get in the fairway first. You're not going to have an overly long second shot here. But once again, this is a precision hole, a little bit like 15. This is a tabletop green, so you're going to have to be right on the money with that second shot.
He just blasted that one down the fairway. Out there about 325 yards. Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second.
Safely on deck.
Wow, what a shot. Doesn't even need the putter. Frank, you don't need just a caddy out here at Chambers Bay. Seems like you need a sports psychologist. You start thinking about the names of these holes. Beached at 16, and what's 17 called?
Derailed, and you can see why too. That green's perched up there. If you've got the round going in the wrong direction, this is not a hole to start on. So if you've got a run going, it's just a good tee shot that lands around the front there, and you just take a 3 here. This is not a time to be a hero.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Well, the great hits just keep coming. Moves to minus 11 on the deck. Now to the 18th hole. Frank, everyone wants to finish in style.
Yeah, the home hole here, once again you head back to just a wonderful view, and you realize that Chambers Bay was designed as a walk-in golf course, and it was designed to have fun and test every department of your game. 18 will do that. It probably gives you more trouble on both sides of the hole than any other hole on the golf course.
He has just hammered this drive here at the 18th, and now he is in a really good position to make a birdie here on the final hole. Excellent looking shot here. Frank, you want to finish with one good swing here, the approach shot to the 18th hole.
I don't think there's a flat putt on this green, Rich. There's so many different sections. We said the course was like a maze. This 18th green can be like a maze. If you're on the right portion, then obviously that certainly helps, but there's so many different levels to this green.
Regarded as a very accurate player, that shot says it all. He has a 12-footer here. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Routine stuff for Rory. That's a par. Frank, I have to say, I've been impressed by the level of golf today. Really came out here with a solid game plan and executed.
And consequently, a very solid round, continuing with that kind of play.